Enjoy this illustrated explainer video about guide dogs for the blind.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some are furry and walk on 4 legs.
A yellow lab guide dog in harness.
At Guide Dogs for the Blind, we believe everyone deserves to live the life they want to live and to move through the world safely and confidently. Which is why we match people who are blind or visually impaired living in the US or Canada with exceptional guide dogs at no cost to them.
A person with a guide dog.
We even help with veterinary bills and ongoing essential support. We create these life-changing partnerships entirely through private donations and with the help of thousands of volunteers. And of course, with our incredible dogs.
A group of people with dogs.
Our dogs are guide dogs at the DNA level. We breed them specifically to do this work.
2 dogs and a DNA helix.
At 3 days old, our dogs start spending time with volunteers called puppy socializers.
A person with a newborn puppy.
Being a puppy socializer isn't just a dream job. It's how we help our puppies get comfortable being around humans.
A volunteer interacts with puppies.
At 8 to 10 weeks, puppies go live with volunteer puppy raisers.
A puppy raiser receives a puppy.
These volunteers dedicate a year of their lives to get these dogs ready for more advanced training.
The dog matures.
When the dogs come back to the school, our world-class staff teach them the complex skills required to become successful guide dogs.
2 GDB instructors train dogs.
After about 12 weeks of training, a dog is matched with their person.
A person hugs a guide dog.
This matching process is part art and part science, and always quite remarkable. Our clients and dogs undergo 2 weeks of personalized training together and begin to form a magical and lasting bond.
A person and guide dog in caps and gowns.
After graduating, clients return home with their guide dogs, empowered to enjoy their lives with greater mobility, independence, and inclusion.
3 scenes of people with their guide dogs at home, work, and play.
None of this would be possible without the generosity of our extended community of volunteers and donors.
A group of people and dogs.
To learn more about supporting our life-changing mission, visit us online.
GDB logo and URLs. GuideDogs.com and GDBinternational.ca.
Enjoy a peek into Guide Dogs for the Blind's Puppy Center, where 2 yellow lab puppies romp in an indoor play area full of colorful structures and a variety of toys.
Meet Kylie. She happens to be blind. That may seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how awkward people can be around her.
Kylie waits at a bus stop with her guide dog. A woman looks at her quizzically. Question marks appear over the woman's head.
So here are some tips to keep us all moving through the world safely and confidently. Always speak directly to a person with a visual impairment, not their guide dog. Remember, that dog has a job to do.
Good morning.
Hello.
Would you like directions to an open seat?
Sure.
There's 2 rows back on your left.
Thanks.
Kylie gets on the bus with her guide dog and sits across from a woman and child.
Oh, Mom, don't pet that dog. It's working.
Now at the office.
At our office, Kylie's colleagues make sure to introduce themselves when they enter the room and to let her know when they leave.
Sarah stands in the doorway of Kylie's office.
Hi, Kylie. It's Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Did you see the latest episode of Bachelorette on Mars?
I can't believe Abe got put in the spaceship. I thought for sure it would be Lenny.
Thought bubble with a bachelor on a spaceship.
Same.
Are we still on for a shopping trip over lunch?
Yep. I'll see you then. Bye.
Speak directly to people with visual impairments rather than speaking to their friend, their guide dog, or anyone else. And be specific when providing directions.
A boutique storefront. Sales associate with Sarah and Kylie.
Hello, how can I help you?
Actually, it's my friend Kylie who needs help.
And what is she looking for?
She is looking for jeans.
Oh, they're over there. I mean, just ahead of you a few steps. Boyfriend jeans are on the left and mom jeans are on the right.
A restaurant.
Kylie's looking forward to a date with her boyfriend, James.
Kylie, James, and guide dog wait to be seated.
Sorry, no animals allowed in the restaurant.
Actually, guide dogs are allowed anywhere the general public is allowed.
Oh, right this way then.
Kylie and James sit at a table with the dog chilling on the floor like a good doggo.
Hey, Kylie, do you want me to read the menu to you?
Sure. Thank you.
James and Kylie with their food.
This smells amazing.
Should I describe where things are?
Yes, please.
There's spicy chicken curry and rice at the top of your plate and braised greens at the bottom. Your wine is above the plate to the right.
Mmm, so good.
Kylie gives a romantic smile to James. Spinach in her teeth.
Honey, you have spinach in your teeth.
Thanks so much for letting me know.
Let's let Kylie and James enjoy their dinner. For more information and helpful tips, visit guidedogs.com.
going to get started here. Welcome today, both to our visitors in person and on our live stream. We're very happy that you all can be here to join us today. We are live streaming, as I mentioned, from our Oregon campus, and we are celebrating the graduation of class 519. This particular graduation, we, in addition to celebrating guide dog clients, are going to be introducing 3 graduates from our orientation and mobility program, 6 guide dog teams, 4 that are here in person today, and 2 that were trained in their home areas, and 4 dogs that graduated from partner organizations in our community placement program. So we have a lot to celebrate today, which is very, very special. And once again, thank you all for joining us. All right, so as we get started here, I would first and foremost like to thank our wonderful puppy raisers. Without you guys doing what you do to prepare these dogs for their journey into training and as guide dogs, we would not be able to do what we do. So thank you guys so much for all the love and dedication that you put into these dogs. Yeah. And I also want to give a very big thank you to all of our donors. Any amount that you very generously donate to us helps us to support our mission and do what we do. We do not receive any funding from the government. And so everything that we do relies on private donations that come in every single day. So thank you very, very much to anybody that has provided any donations to us. I also would like to give a very special thank you to Lillian Tremoroli, who has committed to sponsoring a harness for each class through the year of 2025. And in addition, the estate of Milo and Marian Charleston of Edmonds, Washington, and they are sponsoring all 6 members of the guide dog class for OR519. So thank you very much. For that very generous donation. Lastly, I would also just like to give a big thank you to all of our volunteers, whether you help out on campus, doing dishes, walking dogs, helping in the vet clinic or the gift shop, or whether you support us in other ways. And also to our wonderful employees, some of which are here with us today. We have our canine welfare training technician team who's here in the audience. And they do an absolutely exceptional job at taking care of the dogs while they're here on campus. So thank you guys very much. All right, now if everybody can please turn your attention to the screen here. We're gonna share a short video about our mission. This video includes both audio descriptions and captions.
At Guide Dogs for the Blind, we believe that everyone deserves to move through the world safely and confidently, to live the life they want to live.
A man and his guide dog walk through a park.
Our life-changing programs meet people who are blind or visually impaired wherever they are along their journey, whether that's by matching individuals with highly qualified guide dogs, providing guide dog readiness skills in our orientation and mobility immersion program.
A man holds a white cane and smiles broadly.
Or pairing youth and adults with the companionship of a canine buddy.
A young girl cuddles with her canine buddy.
Together, we are GDB.
My name is Renee Carrasco. My dog's name is Snoopy.
Renee sits in front of a fireplace.
So the reason that I wanted to get a guide dog was because I came across some videos from Guide Dogs for the Blind, and that was my introduction to guide dog travel.
Renee and Snoopy walk along a city sidewalk and cross a street at an intersection.
What I saw was the ease of travel, the speed that the guide dog handler would move with. That's what I wanted for myself. And not only that, but it was also the companionship.
Renee and Snoopy play with a tug toy outside in the yard.
Working with Snoopy has changed my life dramatically because there's so much freedom that comes along with having a guide dog. It's made the hard parts of blindness not so hard.
Renee sits next to Snoopy and gives him a pat on the chest.
I feel like my outlook on life and the world is so much more positive having Snoopy in my life.
My name is Amit Ahuja and my guide dog's name is Tashi.
I had the opportunity to complete Guide Dogs for the Blind's Orientation and Mobility Immersion Program.
Amit stands on a path with his white cane.
And not only did it help me learn to navigate my environment more safely using a white cane, it also made me an even more confident guide dog handler.
My experience was just fabulous.
Amit and his O&M instructor analyze an intersection and cross a city street.
We trained in different locations, practiced different skills, worked out a way to analyze a traffic crossing. I think GDB has transformed my life. To say that it's meeting my needs would be an understatement.
My name is Ella, and this is my canine buddy, Lafferty.
Ella sits on the floor of a living room next to a black lab.
Lafferty is just so amazing in many ways. He's such a good boy. He brings me so much joy and is one of my best friends.
With kids with visual impairments,
Ella's mom, Christy McKerney.
The struggle is real for social contact. It's hard to make friends sometimes. And with Lafferty, he's an automatic draw for all kids, which is wonderful. Lafferty has totally opened up, for Ella, new social connections.
Back to Ella.
I would recommend canine buddies. They're just really good dogs, and they can change a person's life and make it better.
All of Guide Dogs for the Blind services are provided free of charge, and our work is made possible by the generous support of our donors and volunteers.
Renee sits next to Snoopy on the grass in the park.
We receive no government funding.
This organization has made such a huge impact on my life and the lives of so many countless people, and the donors are the ones that make that possible.
Close-up of Snoopy.
Thank you so much.
Ella and Lafferty.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Amit and his guide dog Tashi sit on a beach and watch the sunset.
Together, we are unstoppable. To learn more about our life-changing programs and to support our work, please visit guidedogs.com or scan the QR code.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed that video. And now we're going to get into celebrating all of these wonderful graduates here today. So I'm going to have Nancy Denier come up on stage now. She is from our dog placement program, and she's going to talk about our community placement program. Hi, Nancy.
Hello. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Something that a lot of people don't know about Guide Dogs for the Blind is that we create these dogs to serve. Usually they serve as guide dogs, and sometimes they don't. Guide Dogs partners with 10 service dog organizations across the western United States. And although not every dog's able to go into a role as a guide dog at Guide Dogs for the Blind or a canine buddy or a breeder, we like to celebrate the dogs that have the temperament and skill to give back to our communities by working in other roles as service dogs. They could be mobility dogs, PTSD dogs, hearing dogs, diabetic alert dogs, autism dogs, facility dogs, So much more. We have some dogs that we're going to be honoring today that have gone off to other service dog schools. One of those schools is Dogs for Better Lives. Dogs chosen for Dogs for Better Lives typically enjoy working for food or toys, or both. They're confident in public. They enjoy training games. Dogs for Better Lives trains many kinds of dogs. Hearing dogs. There are often dogs that are independent and may have slightly higher energy. Those would be a good fit. In addition to hearing dogs, Dogs for Better Lives trains autism support dogs, facility dogs, and many other types. So we do have a dog that went to Dogs for Better Lives. Her name is Minnow. Right? So we have three photos on this slide. One is Minnow with her little face up close to the camera. She's laying in some grass. Another one is up close of her face, and looks like she's out in a yard. She's panting. And then the other one is Minnow sitting next to a blue sign congratulating her on going to Dogs for Better Lives. All right. And then we also have some dogs that went to a service dog organization called PAVE, which is Paws Assisting Veterans. Dogs chosen for PAVE typically enjoy working for food and or toys. They're confident and calm around other dogs and in public and are very responsive to commands. The service dogs in training receive extensive training in PTSD, scent detection, and alert, plus a variety of physical assistance tasks and object retrievals. Most of the dogs joining PAVE's program receive new military-related names. So we have 3 dogs that went to PAVE. And the first one is Cinder. Cinder is so cute. So again, we've got 3 photos of Cinder, and these are photos of her back when she was in puppy raising. The first one is little tiny baby Cinder. She's laying on a fluffy bed, and she's got a bright yellow and a red rubber toy in front of her. The second photo of Cinder, she looks like maybe she's about 5 or 6 months old, and she's standing on a wood floor, and she's wearing a zebra costume. And the third photo of Cinder looking very regal in her green puppy raising jacket and green gentle leader. Cinder's was raised by Jill, Roger, and Andrea Perry, and they sent a letter to celebrate Cinder. And this is what they wrote. We were living in a town devastated by fire when little Cinder arrived at our house on Ash Street. From the moment she arrived, she brought so much joy to our family. Cinder learned very quickly, and it became clear that she would be successful on a future career path. She knew when she put on her vest and gentle leader, it was time to get down to business. She had a great attitude towards getting out and learning new things. Cinder is a go-go girl. She enjoyed going everywhere with us. If we had a car keys in our hands, Cinder was there wondering where we were all going. She regularly went camping with us, and she loved it. We always enjoyed Cinder's wiggly greetings. She was always loved by my friends at work and people in our neighborhood. She got many compliments when out and about. When 8:30 p.m. rolls around, Cinder is ready for bed. After going out for the last time, she scampered off her bed to chew on her bone and settle for the night. She stayed on her bed until morning. Mornings made her happy because she got to interact with the family. The day we delivered Cinder to campus, we had 2 other dogs from our club we were dropping off. The staff took those 2 dogs in and left us with some time to say goodbye. Cinder watched them go and let us know that it was time for her to go in with her friends. No time for tears because once again, this go-go girl was ready to go off on her new adventures. Enjoy the special little girl with sparkly Disney princess eyes. She's a treasure. Cinder will definitely be a wonderful companion. It's so nice. All right. And then the other service dog organization that we have dogs recently go to, PAVE. We have Jordana. Sorry, I'm bouncing around here. And we've got a picture of Jordana. She's inside a store. She's laying on a concrete floor, and she's got candy, a big shelf full of candy behind her. Jordana was raised by Virginia Adams of Loveland, Colorado. And then the last dog that has gone off to pave is Euro. Euro's a male black Labrador retriever. He was raised by Erica Fraser of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Babette Hills of Aurora, Colorado. And we have a photo on the slide, and it's Euro, and he's real happy. He's got his mouth wide open, sitting next to a sign congratulating him on going to pave. All right, and that's our community placement dogs that are off to do big things. I'd like to introduce you to the awesome instructors of the class that's graduating, Megan and Hannah.
All right, welcome everyone. Today we have a little bit of words to get through, so bear with me. But first, we're going to recognize a graduate from a recent in-home orientation and mobility immersion program. The instructor for this program was Angela Smith. The Orientation and Mobility Immersion program focuses on enhancing independent travel skills for individuals, including those who are interested in qualifying for a guide dog or they already have a guide dog. It serves as a crucial training opportunity for people with limited access to traditional O&M services and preparing them to partner effectively with a guide dog. Danette Dixon has had guide dogs from GDB for over 30 years. She retired her most recent guide, a black lab named Mayer, in January of this year. Danette stays very active in many leadership and volunteer roles, and she leads Bible study and volunteers with women's and children's groups at her local church. She is president of her local chapter of the American Council of the Blind, secretary of the Washington State Chapter, and a Zoom group facilitator for various special interest affiliates. In her spare time, she enjoys attending leadership and consumer conferences, and she also loves the outdoors and spending time with her friends and family. On the screen, we have two photos. On the left, Danette stands against a tan wall, smiling at the camera and holding her white cane. She wears a blue floral print dress and glasses. And on the right side is a close-up picture of retired guide dog, a black lab named Mayer. He is sitting on a light-colored kitchen floor, looking expectantly at the photographer. Congratulations, OMI graduate Danette. All right, our first graduate from Oregon's Orientation and Mobility, class number 13, is Daryl Adams, and he's from Portland, Oregon. He retired from Intel after 28 years, where he was the director of accessibility, and he now has his own company, Access Insight, for consulting with accessibility, innovation, and disability inclusion. He enjoys traveling with his wife, Cora, going to live music, and cheering on the Portland Timbers. Here you are.
Thank you. What a week. So I started off this week under a sleep shade in Gresham, and I was thinking at the time, it's like most people would not really get along well, or maybe they'd be a bit afraid of being under sleep shade in an area and wandering around an area that you just have no experience with. But it turns out it's actually really not scary, especially when you have an instructor nearby that is willing, that's on the ready to basically keep you out of harm's way. So to allow me just to go and just explore and figure out what it feels like to move through space without vision. And it was a remarkable time where I was just able to move rapidly down the sidewalks and then walk with confidence directly into the side of a building. But then it was okay because I just collect myself and reorient and look up and out, and then I'm on my way again. And it was that feeling that was just, it was a kind of a critical insight that when you allow yourself to kind of just give into that, to basically use your instinct and your training, it all works out. So it was really, I think that experience sort of really told me that you're not going to learn O&M by reading a book. You have to experience it. You have to immerse yourself in it. So very happy for this week, and I feel like I guess the other thing that was really cool about the week was that I got the opportunity to do Juno experience, and then on Thursday I was even able to have my very first experience with a guide dog, and that was incredible. So Pomelo was my guide for the morning in Gresham, and we walked around several blocks, and then went to a coffee shop, and then back to the lounge. And then when I was done with that, it was like, even though that was my very first experience, it turned out that it was just obvious to me that the amount of cognitive load that's required to navigate independently with a cane versus walking with a dog it's so much higher with the cane. So that was a really, really good experience. So I'd just like to really thank both Mallory and Mark for sharing your wisdom, your guidance, and your patience throughout the week. And also thank all of the staff who made this a very welcoming and comforting place to be this week. The residence advisors, the nursing staff, the kitchen, the chef, the kitchen staff, and the volunteers. 3 amazing meals every day, sitting down with my fellow classmates and hearing all their experiences, getting to know their guide dogs and what that looks like and how that feels was really cool. And I guess finally, shout out to the donors. Without you, none of this is possible. I think Guide Dogs for the Blind is about creating confidence and really enabling independence and ultimately changing lives. So thank you.
All right, our second graduate is Jason Sharpless, and he is from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, where he works as a tester for new tabletop games. He is a self-described library aficionado, and Jason has a deep love for reading for all kinds of books. He looks forward to returning to GDB soon to be matched with his second guide dog. Here you go, Jason.
Thank you. Well, as she said, I've already been here once, and Daryl pretty much said everything else. So I do want to thank Mark Gillard and his team for selecting me. It's always an honor and a privilege to be brought back and get the opportunity to meet some new people and experience some new things. I've never been through the OMI program here, but I took OMI about 27 years ago. And the amount I learned in just 1 week would pretty much blow that away. Just understanding, traffic flow and all the things that go into it, it was something that I'd never considered before. So I'm very grateful for that. Kai Weiss was my instructor, and she was fabulous. And like Daryl said, I want to thank all the staff here. Just made it a wonderful experience. Thank you.
All right, we are now going to be celebrating our 2 in-home graduates. Our first graduate is Casey Lyman, and he wrote us a letter. I want to say how much I appreciate being connected with Fiddler. It's tough to put into words, though. We are in our beginning bonding stages, learning how we communicate, and maybe it's better to say I'm learning how Fiddler communicates. When he's not working, he's either relaxing or playing, but when he is on the clock, he's nothing but impressive. I am humbled by his pace and recognize how fantastic it is to have a guide dog that can put me in a slow jogging pace in some of the longer stretches of our route. Quiet mornings and active evenings are a blast with Fiddler. He makes them more enjoyable and easier to appreciate. I'm looking forward to the time and miles we will be sharing in the days to come. I know it took a lot for Fiddler and I to connect. Thank you to Jenica and Sarah, Fiddler's puppy raisers, to GDB, and of course Sue, my in-home instructor. Thank you for everything. I'll do my best to keep Fiddler as happy and healthy as possible. And then thanks again, and I almost forgot. Congrats to all the other graduates. I can only hope you're in the same frame of mind as we are. And we have two photos on the screen. On the left is a picture of Casey sitting on a bench and yellow lab Fiddler seated next to Casey's knee. They are both looking towards the camera and smiling. And on the right is a picture of yellow lab Fiddler wearing his guide dog harness and sitting on a sidewalk next to a planter. All right, so Casey is from St. Louis Park, Minnesota, and he received Fiddler, a male yellow Labrador. Fiddler was raised by Jenna Stokes of Spanaway, Washington, and Sarah Butts of Graham, Washington.
Hi, I'm Jenna, and Fiddler was my very first puppy. I wrote a little something. It's hard to put into words just how much Fiddler changed my life. I met his little happy-go-lucky self at 12 weeks old when I received him off the puppy truck. From our very first day together, it was clear he knew, even then, that he wanted to be a guide dog. I'm gonna cry. Raising him was a journey filled with learning and love for both of us. Whether we were on public outings, doing training sessions, just cuddling at the end of the day, or living through the chaos that is life, he met everyone and everything with a full body wag. He loved people, loved learning, and loved every opportunity to do his job, even if sometimes he thought his job was making people smile, which, to be fair, he did really well. When the time came for me to leave for college, I had to make the incredibly difficult decision to transfer Fiddler to another raiser, Sarah. Even though I knew the day that Fiddler would have to go was coming, I wasn't expecting it to come so soon. I knew he would be in good hands, but that didn't stop the tears, and there were a lot of them. I cried with every photo and every update Sarah sent, overwhelmed with both how much I missed him and how proud I was of the dog he was becoming. Over the months, Sarah continued his training beautifully, and Fiddler kept enjoying every minute. When I came home for Christmas break, I had one last chance to see him before putting him on the puppy truck for recall. Saying goodbye again was just as hard, maybe even harder. But I knew he was ready. I knew that he was going to do what he was meant to do, and I knew he still had lives to change, just as he changed mine. Since then, every pup date has brought more tears, but the good kind, the kind that comes when you know your puppy is becoming something extraordinary, because that's what Fiddler is. From the start, he carried himself like he was already wearing the harness. His goofy grin, constant tail wags, and his Chewbacca grumbles make him impossible not to fall for. That's always been Fiddler. Fiddler may have started as my puppy, but he's always belonged to something bigger. Today, as he graduates, I couldn't be more proud of the guide dog he's become. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of his journey, especially Sarah, for loving him like I did and for helping him continue to grow. And to Fiddler, thank you for teaching me about love, letting go, and what it means to serve with joy. You were born for this, and I've never been prouder. And good luck to Fiddler and Casey in their new partnership. I hope you have many amazing years together.
All right. I also have a letter from Fiddler's second raiser, Sarah Butts. To Casey and Fiddler, I am beyond thrilled for you and Fiddler as you embark on this incredible journey together. My time with Fiddler, though brief during the final stages of his puppy training, left a lasting impression on both me and my family. His joyful spirit and unmistakable grin brightened every space he entered. From our home to the many places we explored, Fiddler's eagerness to please and his unwavering readiness made him an absolute joy to train. Whether it was adapting to the energy of 3 spirited children, welcoming a new puppy into our household, or joining me at the police department, where he quickly became a favorite among the officers, Fiddler embraced every experience with enthusiasm. He's enjoyed memorable adventures from camping trips, complete with the occasional swim, to visits to major baseball and hockey arenas. Yes, this big yellow boy even managed to squeeze into those tiny stadium seats. He also proudly supported my son during a 5K walk for a medical cause, showing his heart is truly in everything he does. Casey, my hope for you is that Fiddler continues to shine as the ray of sunshine he has always been. He is not only a capable and dependable guide, but also a devoted friend, a quiet hero, and a constant reminder that you are never alone on your path. May each step you take together bring confidence, comfort, and joy. Here's to new adventures, meaningful moments, and the many tail wags that will await you both. With heartfelt congratulations, Sarah Butts and family. And our photo description is yellow lab fiddler with his 2 paws on an elevated play structure at a park with a slide behind him. He stands tall looking into the camera, the sun shines over him, and he's wearing his green guide dog puppy and training jacket. All right, we are recognizing one more in-home client. Linda Waltz of St. Paul, Minnesota, received in-home training with Camden, a male yellow Labrador Golden Retriever cross. Camden was raised by Jennifer Majan of Poway, California. And then I have a note from the in-home client, Linda. Thank you to GDB for their continuous support in matching me with my 4th guide dog and supporting me through the years with each team. I am especially grateful to my in-home instructor, Sue Strong, for her patience and humor while retraining me out of some bad habits and making learning at home fun. On our screen, we have 2 photos. On the left is Linda sitting on a bench with yellow Labrador Golden Retriever cross Camden, seated on the ground very close to her. Linda's arm is on Camden's back, and they are both looking towards the camera and smiling. On the right is a picture of yellow Labrador Golden Retriever cross Camden, sitting in front of green foliage while wearing his harness. Congratulations to both of our in-home teams. All right, we are now going to be celebrating our 4 in-residence clients. And first is Al. He is receiving his 2nd guide dog, Dax, who is a male yellow lab golden cross and proudly says he's been matched with the best dog in the world. He can't wait to get back to what he loves most, fishing, hiking trails, and enjoying the great outdoors with his new teammate. Dax was raised by Allison and Neil Stobie of Bothell, Washington. All right, here you are, Al. You can drop it.
This guy's ready to get going. I don't know if you've seen him on the steps. He was pushing his way up. Today's a day of thank yous. And all these thank yous from us are coming from our heart. We've not been coached at all what to say up here. And the organization is unbelievable. This is my 2nd tour, and I find that it's improved since the last time. And I thought that was a really good time. It was 12 years ago. But things are much better now, through the research and through the time that they've taken with working with their, one moment, Dax, sit, good boy. The organization is outstanding. I could stand here and name each person that's done such a great job for us. But it all boils down to the puppy trainers, who my trainers aren't here today because their daughter is graduating today from college, and they stopped up yesterday to spend an hour and a half with us, and that was very nice. But as I look at the people and the people who have touched me over this past 2 weeks, one name pops up, and it's Hannah, and she's standing here. She was our trainer, and Hannah was very quick to compliment you, to praise you, and she was just as fast to gently, sometimes a little harshly, when you're really goofed up, to step forward to the curb a little bit closer so you don't get hit by a car. So she's amazing. She's a wonderful young lady, and she's going to have a wonderful career here. So I thank you for being here. I thank Hannah, and I thank this entire organization for doing the beautiful work that you do for us. When I lost my dog about 18 months ago, I felt a big hole in my heart, and that hole's been filled with what Hannah has done, this organization has done, and what my dog has done. Thank you.
Hello, I'm going to read a letter on behalf of Dax's puppy raisers, Allison and Neil. This is what they have to say. We are so sorry that we are unable to be at Albert and Dax's graduation. Our daughter is graduating from Western Washington University today, and although we would have loved to celebrate Albert and Dax at graduation, our human babies do come first. But please allow us a moment to tell you how wonderful we think Dax will be as a working guide dog. Just before Dax arrived, we were on vacation with our 2 children. On one of the days, Sophie, our daughter, went for a massage. This massage was with a complete stranger who turned out to be a very spiritual lady. After the massage, she said to Sophie, "While I was doing your massage, I could feel that a very healing animal would be coming into your life soon." Little did she know that little puppy Dax would arrive 2 weeks later, and from the very beginning, he would show nothing but unconditional love to everyone around him. I work with students who have reading difficulties, and Dax was the perfect coworker to me and each of my students. They loved coming to see him and would sit on the floor to read to him. He gave each student his complete attention and always made them feel special. Dax has a very special gift in that he seems to know when people are upset, and in those moments he was always there for my students and ready to give them a hug. He was always ready for a dance party too, and would love it when we turned up the music and danced around the room. We are now on our third guide dog puppy, and those puppies have a lot to live up to. Dax is one of those dogs that you only have to tell him once and he gets what you want him to do. For example, as a young puppy, he picked up a sock from the bathroom floor, and we gave him a quick correction and a "that's enough," and he never picked up a sock again. Having lived with 2 more puppies, we have since learned that that is an extremely unusual phenomenon. We used to describe Dax as a cautiously curious puppy. He never jumped right into a situation. In fact, at his first playdate with all the other puppies from our puppy club, he rolled himself into a little ball and then watched the play from this position at the very edge of the yard. But this behavior always meant that he was watching and learning, and when he was ready, he would do his very best in every situation to which he was introduced. Just before Dax's first Christmas, he must have been about 20 weeks old. He was super cute. I took him to Trader Joe's. A lady came up to me in the parking lot as I was putting the groceries in the car and told me that she had followed us around the store just to see the pure joy in the faces of the other holiday shoppers as they saw Dax trotting around in his little green puppy jacket. And this is what we hope happens to you, Albert, as you and Dax move through life together, that he continues to bring pure joy and a little bit of healing to all of those that have the privilege to come in contact with you both. Wishing you all the very best with this wonderful dog, Allison and Neil.
All right, our next graduate is Kelly, and she is graduating with her 3rd guide dog, Tangier, a male yellow lab. She's excited to head home to her husband, who's also waiting for his guide dog, their 2 kids, and a house full of animals. She's eager to start putting in the miles with her new partner and enjoying all the adventures ahead. Tangier was raised by Janelle Reppert of Milwaukee, Oregon, and Joanne Meckling and Scott Lee of Portland, Oregon.
Hey everyone. So online, I know I'm going to give a shout out to my husband Shannon and Landon and Eliana. I know they're supposed to be watching. Hopefully they are. There's so many things I wanted to say, and bear with me. I'm going to try to remember it all. First, today is so much more than a graduation. It is the start of a new chapter for me and this amazing, smart guy at my side. There are so many people to thank, and I'm trying not to forget or leave anybody out. But first, to the staff, from the canine welfare techs to the veterinarians who take care of these guys when they are in training, to the trainers who teach these dogs what it is to be a guide and what it means, and then take us and teach us how to work with the new partners. Thank you, Megan. And to be successful as a team when we go home. And we can't forget the dorm staff who make us comfortable while we are here and learning and working hard, and they keep our rooms perfect so that when we crash at the end of the day, we're in comfort. The nursing staff who made sure that we were all taken care of and not hurt while we were here. The kitchen staff, where do I begin? The food was amazing. They took care of us well, and it's also the reason why I'm going home a few pounds heavier than I was when I came. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for doing what you do and making this possible. Also, the donors who truly contribute so much and allow GDB to do their mission and to do it so well. They not only help us come here and train, but also when we go home, we're not left high and dry. We know that GDB is a phone call away and that they will be there to help us work through any issues so that we can be a successful team for so many years. Especially also the Veterinary Financial Assistance Program, something that I am immensely grateful for because it means that I don't have to have the worry of being concerned about whether my dog will be able to have the care that they need. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. To the volunteers, of which there are so many, you are integral, and they say, and I know we've heard this before, that it takes a village to raise a guide dog, and they're not wrong. And volunteers are such an instrumental part of that, whether it's those who volunteer in the kennels to help, those who help out in the dining rooms with the helping, serving food and everything, but most importantly, to the puppy raisers who truly give the foundation that give these dogs the start to allow them to truly reach their potential. Joanne, Scott, Janelle, you guys took Tangier into your home and you taught him all of the things that he needed to know to really get a start. And it's something that I cannot express my gratitude enough for. The love and the joy shows. And while I wasn't there in his early years, I feel his devotion, your devotion, with every tail wag, every glance, and every step that we take. And it's because of you who did and were so dedicated and gave so much to allow him to be standing with me here today, or else we wouldn't be here. This is not my first guide, as they said, he's my third. And the journey, there's always something new. Every experience is unique, and you learn something new with every experience. It's independence and trust, and even a little bit more about myself. My journey started when I was accepted in July of 2023, and the wait began, and as everybody knows who's waiting for that call, that is the longest wait of our lives. You're wondering about who your dog is going to be. You're wondering, what kind of dog are they going to be? And then I was also using my cane, who I dubbed affectionately Harvey Wallbanger. Frankly, it fit, and every single day that I used the cane, I yearned to have that handle in my hand again, because especially when I kept getting jabbed in the stomach when I'm out and my cane may get caught in a crack, or when I'm trying to quietly come into a room, and that's foiled because inevitably my cane makes a thump against something. Ninjas we are not when we have a cane. When that call came, I cried tears of joy, and I'm like, I finally have a match. And then I commenced packing, even though I had 3 weeks before my plane took off. I then looked at the pup dates. All of you are familiar with those, trying to guess who my dog would be, and I was completely wrong. Not at all on my radar. Came into training, and they brought Tangier to me, and I was smitten from the start. This dog has my heart and has charmed me, and I know it's only going to grow from here. He is everything I have wanted in a dog and a guide, and then some. And I'm sorry, you guys might cry. Partway through training, I had to make the decision that nobody wants to make, and had to make the decision to say goodbye to my 14-and-a-half-year-old retired guide, Loki, at home. And at that point, Tangier was not just my guide, but he was also my source of comfort. He kissed away my tears while I grieved the loss, not only of Loki, but also the fact that I couldn't be there in the end. And significance, the day that we had to send Loki over the Rainbow Bridge, a dragonfly landed on me, and even with a little nudging, didn't want to leave. And I took it as a sign that Loki was saying, it's okay. You'll be okay. You've got this. You have a new set of paws following in my footsteps, and you will be okay. And then on the final day of training, when we went to Multnomah Falls, and I was in the gift shop looking for some items to get my kids, and just happened to be looking at some of the necklaces and the jewelry, and Nurse Amy, who was shopping with me, was just telling me some of the different things that they had. And I was more curious than anything else. And she, in passing, said that there was a dragonfly. And I knew. It was a way of telling me that while Tangier and I are starting this journey, that in spirit, Loki's walking beside us too, and he's given his okay that we will be fine. Tangier is a name that I loved when I heard it, and I looked it up and found out that it is a city in Morocco, and its significance is that it is the strategic gateway linking Europe to Africa. This was profound to me because Tangier is my gateway to my freedom and my independence. With him, I travel safely and confidently and with pride to get to where I need to go. Our bond is fledging. Thank you there, Tangier. Our bond is only beginning, but already I trust him with my safety and my heart, and I know no matter what obstacles life throws at us, that we will handle it one crossing, one curve, one victory at a time. There is something unspoken between a guide dog and handler, a rhythm, a shared understanding, a dance of movement and meaning. And this guy right here is already moving with every one of my heartbeats. While our journey is just beginning, I am eager to step out and go to new places and new adventures and to meet new people with him by my side. And I want to thank every single person who played a role in making that possible. I will end it with this. Some angels have wings. Mine has 4 paws and a wagging tail. Thank you.
I'm Janelle, and I started Tangier as a baby puppy, so I just had him for the beginning part of his raising, and he has always been a fabulous dog. Puppy, dog, whatever. He was just easy, good, willing, and cute. And I just wish them the best of luck, and I just can see that it's a really amazing partnership. So good luck, you guys.
And I'm Joanne. My husband Scott and I finished out Tangier after Janelle, so expertly got him ready for us. I'm really thankful to be here and happy to be here today because for a while there I thought it might not happen, but it's only because of Janelle's willingness to step up and help me raise Tangier, my husband's, and other members of our puppy raising club who I appreciate so much that I'm here with Tangier and Janelle and Kelly on this stage today. And that's because about a year into raising Tangier's sire, my company decided that everybody who worked for them started to need to come back to the office for 3 days a week. Even people like me who'd been hired remote and was told at the time it would be fine, no problem. The nearest office that my company maintains is in Scottsdale, Arizona. So we decided after a little bit that I would tough out the commute for a few years, that it would be great because I could take a guide dog puppy with me and it would get lots of airplane experience. Well, the cherry on top is that this company decided that service dogs in training are not allowed on any of their campuses. So I reluctantly got a co-raiser to finish out Tangier's father, and decided for the next few years, I guess I'd just kind of help out my club as necessary, but I couldn't be an active puppy raiser anymore. So that was kind of a bummer. And then Tangier's father became a breeder, obviously. And the thought after raising for 20 years and finally getting a male who was going to be a breeder, and then thinking that you would not be able to raise any of his puppies was just inconceivable. So we set about making it work. Janelle agreed to raise a puppy until he was old enough to go to work with my husband. That's what happened. We ended up submitting names, and the puppy that came off the truck going to us had the favorite name that we had submitted, Tangier. So had a great time raising him. He was an amazing puppy. And as it turned out, I broke my wrist about 8 months into raising him. So we had a lot more time together than I thought because I was off work for 3 months. So there you go, company. But, and it's always special and amazing to raise a guide dog puppy, but when it's your first grand puppy, it's even a little better. So we had an amazing time. It was hard to send him back, but, today is the day that he was bred for. This is why he came into the world, to do this. And I couldn't be more thrilled that he was matched with Kelly. I know she loves him as much as we do, and probably more. But I know they're going to have a great adventures together. I think Tangier always wanted to be a guide dog. He always wanted to work, and he's very serious about what he does. And I think he's going to go to his forever person, his forever home with her kids and her husband. And I think this is exactly what he wanted. So congratulations to you, Tangier. You got what you wanted. Congratulations to Kelly. And I just wish you guys the best. And we're going to keep in touch and hear about all his adventures. So.
Thank you.
All right, our third graduate is Ruben, and he's taking home his very first guide dog, Esker, a male black lab. He's looking forward to introducing Esker to his family and friends and exploring their new home area together. It's the start of a journey filled with discovery, connection, and independence. Esker was raised by Joseph Michael of Sacramento, California.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just to set some expectations, I'm a person of few words, and I forget everything when I'm under stress. But the feeling of our first walk together, Esker and I, our first walk in Gresham, is something that I will never forget. The freedom of just being able to move fluidly and quickly is incredible. Esker's a rocket when he first takes off. Yeah, that's something I'll never forget. I want to thank everybody, from the volunteers who picked us up at the airport, to the staff here on campus, the RAs. I told my instructors and everyone who's listening that I would have come here if they told me you get half a sandwich and a bed in a 12-person room, but that's not the way it is at all. It's incredible here. And I want to thank the puppy raiser who started Esker off right, the puppy raisers, and definitely all the donors who are here and far away who make all this possible. And the instructors, Megan and Caitlin, and definitely Hannah. Hannah is an amazing teacher. I think she's taught us a lot, and a lot of things that we can apply at home when we get back to Texas. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Esker was a lot of fun raising from the day we picked him up in San Rafael. And on that day, actually, we picked up one of his siblings as well for another member of our group. And a quick shout out to the Roseville puppy raisers, Ann and crew. You guys are the best. But back to San Rafael. We got to the kennel, and they never tell you the dog's name. It's always a G dog or a B dog, and you have to guess. And you put the list together of 17 gazillion names, and it's never on there. Two of these techs came out with these cute little fur balls, and one raises it up and says, "This is Elway." And I thought, I know that name. He's going to be a great guide. And the other held her dog up and said, "This is Esker." And I remember thinking, I don't know anybody named Esker. I don't even know what an Esker is. So I just smiled and I said, "Oh, we get Elway, right?" And she smiled back and said, "No, you get Esker." For those of you who are interested, an esker is nothing but a pile of gravel and sediment that's left behind a receding glacier. Tells you how far they had to go to put that one in the books. But he was fun. I mean, when he was a puppy, we'd watch him bounce around the floor, and his ears would flop up and down, and his tail would back and forth, and he would inevitably run into something, and he'd do a three-point landing on his chin. But as he grew older, he always get excited when he saw his jacket come out because he knew he was going out the front door. And that was something that was so thrilling for him. And it was fun to see him outside because he was a very good dog, just like he is right now. And people would come up and say, "That's a great dog. He's so well disciplined. And what's his name?" I would say, "His name is Esker." "Esther. Is that a girl?" "No. his name is Esker. And they'd look at you sideways like, are you sure? But the thing I liked most about Esker was the fact that we built a relationship together, and he was always by my side. And anywhere I went in the house, this guy was right there. And I always thought it was because he had so much love in his heart for me, until somebody said, no, it's because you've got the bait bag and he's just looking for a treat. But now, I know you two have only been together for a short time, but I can see he's already developed that relationship for you. So I want to, believe me when I tell you, he will always be by your side, and he'll guide you wherever you want to go, okay? And I have just a quick message from the Roseville Puppy Raisers that they just sent me this morning, if I can get this thing to work. Let's see. Ooh. There you go. So I want to say congratulations to both of you. It's a beautiful day.
All right, our last graduate is Robin, and she's welcoming her third guide dog, a female black lab named Safari, and she's hopeful that this will be her best match yet. With renewed confidence, she's looking forward to branching out, especially by taking public transit, something she now feels more ready to do with her guide dog leading the way. Safari was raised by Raylan and William Webster of Riverton, Utah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, as of this moment, I don't even know what I'm going to say because it seems like everything's been said. So I'll have to tell you a different story. While I was at class, I got a phone call from the lady who was watching my 11-year-old guide dog. She's a puppy raiser, and I met her one day when we were donating blood at Vitalant Blood Donor Clinic or whatever it is. And she said, oh, is that a guide dog from Guide Dogs for the Blind? And I said, yes. And then we were sitting, waiting our 15 minutes after giving blood, and she said that she had raised a number of puppies for Guide Dogs for the Blind, and she would love to watch my dog for me because I was going out of town a week later. So I went home and I called Guide Dogs and I checked it out, and they said, oh yes, she's a really good puppy raiser. So my dog Winnie went and stayed with Michelle McDonald, who lived about a half hour from me. And since that time, she has watched my dog every time I've needed her for whatever. And she's watching her now. So Michelle called and she said, Winnie was fine, but guess what? Winnie wouldn't eat dinner. Now in 11 years, Winnie has never not eaten dinner. So she knew it and I knew it, that something was wrong. So she took Winnie to the emergency hospital, and it's got a happy ending, don't worry. Everything's good. But the point I want to make is I had the emergency doctor call the doctor up here because I always want a second opinion, and the second opinion is always from guide dogs because I just want to be sure that they're doing the right thing. And the doctor up here assured me that they were doing the right thing and it was the right thing to take her to the ER. It turned out to be an infection, and she's treated and she's perfect. She's eating again. So I guess the moral of this story is Guide Dogs is always there for me. I've called them so many times over the last 20 years, and they always help me and they always give me a solution. And the veterinary care is just amazing. I never do anything unless I check it out with them and make sure it's the right thing to do. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a story about this little girl. She is so affectionate. And when I saw how she played with you on the floor, Bill, my heart just went out because she is so much fun. And you just were enjoying her so much. I could see what a wonderful puppy family she had. Thank you, both of you. So one other quick one. So I was walking out here behind this building, I think. I'm not quite sure. There's a dirt trail, and it goes through all the trees, and it's very dark. It's very shady. And when I get into a situation like that, I'm blind. Normally I have a little vision, but not in the shade. So I was alone. I don't know where my trainers were. But I was venturing out by myself, and I had Safari with me, of course, and we're walking, and it's dark, 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 and I'm thinking of Kelly. I'm thinking of Kelly walking in the dark, and I'm now walking in the dark just like Kelly, and I'm saying to myself, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Trust your dog, trust your dog, trust your dog. And I did, and I just trusted her, and she took me down this trail. It was windy, and it wasn't really bumpy, but there were a few little things in it. And she just walked me through this trail like a real, real champ. And I was so grateful. And I knew then that we were going to have a great life together. And I'm sure we will. Thank you, all of the people at Guide Dog School. I'm not going to go through the whole list because everybody else did. But my trainers, everybody was just fabulous, fabulous. Thank you.
We're so grateful to be able to be here and meet Robin and see Safari again. Trying to think about a story to tell about Safari, and the one that came to mind was just before she turned a year old, there was a family that had 2 kids that were wanting to look at the Canine Buddy program, and they had no dog experience. So Michelle Clybourne came by and borrowed Safari and took Safari with her so this family could get an idea of what a Canine Buddy would be like. And the family loved Safari so much they did not want to give her back. So that was in December that happened. And Safari's birthday is actually on Christmas Day. I think that's a neat thing. We're excited to see this partnership blossom and grow. And thank you.
Well, I've been trying to think of something in particular, and there was one story that was interesting when with Safari. When we go shopping, I usually have the dogs next to me on the cart, and I always usually have to walk around and okay, pull over, get out of the way of the other people, walk in the other direction so you don't get run over or whatever. And I started noticing this little smart girl. She started, before I even got a chance to do anything, she would actually move over. And I was like, okay, but is that unusual? And it's like, yeah, it is actually quite unusual. We've done quite a few dogs now, and I've never seen another dog do it. I've seen dogs that walk into people. I've seen ones that sometimes get hit because they get caught, their toe or something gets caught or whatever. But she was always just moved over and just was really conscious of what she was doing and where she was, and was really aware of what was going on around her. And I was like, okay, that bodes well. She's going to make a great guide, and she's going to be able to serve someone really well when she gets older. And from what I've seen so far, that's definitely a good match for her. And she is a smart girl, that is for certain. She's always alert and always aware of what's going on, and she loves to have fun. So she's going to make a great guide for you. Thank you.
All right. Congratulations to all of our graduates. We are now going to be doing a guide dog demonstration. Caitlin's going to be narrating while Megan does the demo.
Thank you, Hannah. And again, I would also like to say congratulations to all 6 graduates from OR519, as well as Jason and Daryl, who graduated from our Orientation and Mobility Immersion program. So huge congrats again to everybody. All right, and so now we're going to watch a little dog training. Megan is coming up on stage with this gorgeous yellow Labrador named Scott, which I just think is a hilarious name for a dog on a personal note. And Megan is going to show us a training technique that we use here at Guide Dogs called back chaining. And it is a training technique that we use to teach a dog how to target a specific object or a location. So the first thing that Megan is doing is just warming up Scott by doing some hand targeting. So what Scott has been taught to understand is that when he hears the sound of a clicker, it means he's going to get a food reward. And so Megan is just getting him ready. What she's going to be teaching Scott to target here is this little piano bench, as you see. And so she is using her fist to lure him over to the piano bench where he is getting a food reward. Sometimes they get so enthusiastic, they like to put their little paws up on the bench. And so the magic of back chaining is kind of that we actually start at the object that we want the dog to find, and we slowly move farther and farther away and ask the dog to find the object. Now, dogs think that back chaining is really, really fun because we go at their pace and they get to win every single time, as you can see Scott is doing here. So Megan is slowly moving him farther and farther away. She's starting just with the leash, again, kind of showing him exactly what she wants him to find, and then feeding him and also giving him some verbal praise when he finds that piano bench. Once he's consistently finding it on leash, she's going to pick up the handle. He's like, oh, maybe you want the stairs. Nope, we want the bench. And of course, he goes right to it. Very good. And so she's going to take him all the way back almost to the stairs, ask him to find the bench, and there he is again, and then she's going to sit down. So this is something that we use not only when we're training dogs, but we also teach all of our students in class how to utilize this to teach them so they can teach their dogs how to find objects at home. And again, the dogs think it's really super fun. It's very positive, and they get food reward at every repetition. So they love it. Thank you, Megan and Scott. Very good job. And then Megan is going to be up here on stage for a little bit right after graduation if anybody has any questions for her. And so this concludes our graduation. Once again, congratulations to all the graduates today. Thank you for everyone who joined us both in person and virtually. And if you're interested in volunteering, joining our staff, or if you know anyone that could benefit from our services, you can visit us at guidedogs.com. If anybody would like to make a donation to support our mission, you can text partnerships to 50155, and that information is also up on the screen. All right, and that concludes our celebration today. If anybody's interested in a campus tour, there is a blue table at the back of the room and a volunteer docent who has a big blue flag. And if you're interested in going to check out our campus and finding out more information, please visit her. For the rest of you, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and there will be some snacks and refreshments in the gift shop. So, thank you, everyone.